Okay, welcome back to part 2 on our update for the Drag Week group build hosted by Mr. Taylor Brown. So why is this a two-part build for me? Because we're building, of course, the car, but from what we understand that goes on with the Drag Week deal is that these guys have to travel from one racetrack to the other. And they have a limited amount of time to get from one to the next, and then they have to race the next day, then they have to pack it all up and move and go on to the next deal again. But they're not allowed to have a chase vehicle or any type of support vehicle that goes along with them, or to be, they themselves cannot be trailered from one event to the next. So I just think that's kind of a cool type of thing to do. Race your car, put it on the street, run to the next event, race your car, put it on the street, run to the next event. And of course, these tracks are not like just down the road or, you know, the next block over or something like that. There's a little bit of a travel distance in between. So I've seen some pictures and some footage and stuff on YouTube of Drag Week stuff. And from what I have seen, a lot of these guys choose to carry along a little tag along or pup trailer, and that's what I'm decided to build. So that's part 2 of our Drag Week group build, and I'm scratch building a tag along trailer for our Mustang 2. And I figured what would be cool is if we just built this to look like it was a standard stock trailer that you buy off the trailer lot, and kind of just hook it up and on your way type of thing. So I've been doing a lot of photo research and stuff. I know that Bernie over at Godfather Customs just bought a small trailer to tow behind his vehicle for the new career that he's going to be branching off into pretty soon. And he had some really great detail footage in that video that has some good close-ups on stuff. And it really gave me some great ideas on how to go ahead and attack this project. But this is hollow. It's not a solid block of styrene, and I just glued stuff to it. I didn't want to do anything like that. I kind of felt that would be cheating on some level. But the frame itself is actually based on the Revell kit. It's the Curtis. It's the midget racer. So what I did was I just kind of took a look at that, figured out how that was built, and then drew out on grid paper what I wanted to do, figured out my angles for the tongue. One thing that most trailers don't have is this center spar thing, but that really helped me keep everything kind of parallel and centered and that kind of stuff. Another thing I discovered was that my building mat is not compatible with Tamiya liquid thin cement, so that was a nice learning experience there when everything was glued down to the table. But we built the whole thing out of just evergreen styrene sheet and some scrap styrene here and there. I actually did go out and buy some L-shaped stock in order to cover up all of my seams because there was some major crimes going on here and there. And that covers it up really, really nice. And I decided to do a drop door style, I guess they call it. And I've got one handle and clamp done on this side, and I have to attach the one over here on that side, and then clean up some of my hinges a little bit too. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been a real test of my scratch building skills. But because we're just basically building a rectangle or square on a frame, it's not too taxing, but it's still a lot of fun. I did raid the parts box for a hitch assembly. This was off of a, well, gosh, it was, I think it came with the Ertl, I want to say the International Scout 2 as a tow bar that was in the front there, or it might have been on one of the Jeep kits. But I just cut off the front of that tow bar and then glued it on there, made it look like it's supposed to be there. And then I do have someplace around here a little wheel assembly that we're gonna tuck up inside there to be the tongue wheel, and then have the little we'll scratch build a little post for that that's supposed to be the winder for it. Another thing that we rated the parts box for was this tire cover that's going to go up here on the front for a little bit of visual interest. And then I did raid the parts box once again for spare tire cover, another one. I found this one to be just the right size, and because it has this really sweet little bead system going along the outside rim there, it gave us the perfect place to show where to stop our grinding at. So we chewed this out with a it was a stone bit on a motor on our Dremel. Excuse me, my goodness, I have no vocabulary tonight. But yeah, chewed that out right up to the little bead there, and it gives us a really beautiful little lip. And when we mock this into place here, like so, and give us a nice little angle there, that's going to look pretty sweet. I think that's going to be perfect. Fender should be just slightly larger than the tire itself. So we'll do these up in aluminum. We'll probably do the rest of the trailer up in a satin white or semi-gloss white, and then go back and do all of our ribbing in aluminum. And I think the actual trailer frame itself will be gloss black. But this fender system here, pretty nice. Fits over the little tires and wheels that we picked out for the kit perfectly. Gives us a little bit of room, so if we want to go wider or narrower. And then we're just going to use a piece of styrene rod for our axle for now, since it's not really carrying any weight. And we'll get that all glued up and painted up here pretty soon, and we'll get this guy finished off. I did think about doing like a logo on the side here, printing out some decals for that type of stuff, but then I thought, you know, this is such a cool little trailer, I might want to just incorporate it for other builds for when I display stuff. So I'm going to just keep it kind of generic for right now. Maybe Joe Mustang didn't have time to customize his pup trailer or anything like that before he had to hit the road. Maybe he actually picked that up on his way out of town, on his way to go off to the drag races. All right, guys and girls, that's what we got going on there. We'll talk to you a little bit later on in the week, I'm sure. So stay tuned for that. We've been catching up on all of our other videos from our friends and liking what we're seeing. So good job, guys. And also, we picked up a few more subscribers over the last week. So again, welcome and thank you for joining us and all the fun and antics that we have. I'm a little tired this evening, so that's why this isn't such a high energy video, but I did want to get this taken care of before we move on to the next phases of the build. All right, we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Bye now.